adjust? Firstly, your thoughts on the match today, and secondly, would you say it's more relief, or you were expecting to at least get this far?
I think it's a bit of both. The thing is, just because you're expecting it doesn't mean it's going to happen. So we still had to do a lot of right things to get the job done. And sitting here, I'm in the changing room. I certainly can say I'm a very proud captain that we have qualified for the World Cup, and it is relieving because I know it wasn't much to do with the skills. It was just to deal with those demons of the past. But we put them to bed now, and now we are on our way to Sri Lanka and India, and I can't be any more proud. And also, I think this country and the cricket fans, I think they deserved a bit of happiness as well. And in the same breath, I want to mention that we have rugby boys going to the World Cup as well. So at least our people, our fans, will have a lot more world stage representation of Zimbabwe, which they can enjoy.
Yes, thank you. Once again, Sikandar, many congratulations to you and to the team. I'm stating the obvious, but I'm going to do it anyway. I would imagine that this now erases the big disappointment of Namibia, where unfortunately you weren't able to qualify for last year's T20 World Cup, but you've certainly set that right and put that to bed.
Yeah, certainly, Dean. Like I said, it was a lot more to deal how we deal with emotions, and in those emotions how we stay calm and do not allow the results of the past question our skills and our processes. And like you rightly said, we have put that to bed, and we are on our way to the World Cup, and there is not much more I can add there. It's a very happy and a proud changing room at the moment. But in the same breath, having said that, when the tournament started, we didn't just set out to qualify for the World Cup. We want to win the trophy, and we have a very important match. So we do not want to get too ahead of ourselves. We have a very crucial match coming up on Saturday, and inshallah we want to try and win that as well, because we want to build a happy and a winning changing room, and it can only be done if you take every game out there that presents itself, and then you try and put your best foot forward and try and win it. So we're looking forward for the Saturday game now.
I know you won all the games. Congratulations, by the way. What was your observation of your team generally? Emotions, skill-wise, game management, everything. What was your observation? What would you need to change or maybe improve? Or what did you appreciate from how you guys played?
To be fair with you, I don't think so there was much to change. The reason I say that, Atano, is because we have played on different wickets every game, and every wicket has presented a little bit of a challenge. The good thing is we were playing at home, so we understood our wickets. But having said that, we have played on a few flyers where the seamers have bowled really quick, and today we realized that if he wanted to bowl short, it would have been a lot easier to bat because the pace wasn't there. So we realized that in the first 2 overs, and we changed our plans accordingly, where we were just like, we're going to hit the stumps and we're going to stay on top of the stumps, try and hit the stickers of the bat as well. So we changed very quickly, and I think it's because of that assessment that we were able to restrict them to 122, which on that wicket I felt was a below par. I thought it was a 150 wicket, 160 wicket.
Saki, congratulations. Maybe looking at the way that you guys went about your business, you were ruthless. I mean, in every game, you never gave the opposition a sniff. Does that then tell about the level of where Zimbabwe is, and remind the fans that we should not be playing this level, where we should be at a level where we should have qualified already? And number two, your assessment on the young players that have come through this tournament. You get your Brian Bennett to the top better at the moment. You know, the youngsters like Tino Mapos. How much is this tournament experience and ending up on the victorious side important in their development, as we are in a team that is in transition, where a few years from now some of the seniors will have hung up their boots or their bats? How important is it for these youngsters to learn but still be in a winning dressing room?
So I'll start answering your question from second point. I think for a growth of a young cricketer, it is very important that the changing room is a winning changing room. And for that to happen, we had to change the culture. Without bringing the past, I felt some previous coaches basically destroyed that culture. The seniors weren't respected, or we were looked at that it's time for them to go and they're not doing this and they're not doing that. I've always been a big believer of that you cannot build a future by destroying your present. And I felt we were looking few years in the back, we were looking to build a future by destroying the present. So we didn't have any foundation for the future to build on. So now to see those youngsters, we have to be honest with you, selectors, myself, the selection panel has taken a lot of slack a lot of criticism for backing some of these guys as well. But we took that head on, and we stuck with these youngsters because we knew what we had in our hands, and we knew how important they will be in a winning culture. And to see the growth of Tina Maposa, to see Marumani coming back, to see Brian Bennett being so consistent for us, to see so many different individuals raising hands and winning the game from different positions, or even contributing. If you look at it, Musikiwe has done fantastic well. Every time he's gone out to bat, he's got, 8 to 10 balls. People do not understand the little dynamics, but he's batted at 200 strike rate. Burl hasn't had a hit in this tournament, but he's always gone out there to take the game forward. These are the signs of a culture that we have built that has taken us a long time. The selfless culture where the team must always come first. Because if you're doing the right things, you're going nowhere, and we will take all the abuse there is or all the criticism there is from anybody out there, but we will keep backing the players within the changing room. And these are the results of those backing that the players are shining now. And we'll continue to do that because we have filled in those holes that I personally felt they were. Now we selected the players on the batting positions rather than just anybody. Unfortunately, if the spot at the top is not open, then it's not open because the guys are doing well. So we have filled in those gaps. Tony Manyonga has been a very selfless player, but he takes a lot of criticism as well. So everybody has done their job. Everybody has stood up. The Seamers have done fantastic well as well. They have been under fire as well, but sometimes you come up against a team that is very skillful, and even when you bowled really well, they had answers to it. But that experience goes a long way. So what are you seeing now is basically a build-up to all the games we have played against the top nations. And the lessons we have learned, we knew that if we can hold on to those lessons and keep trusting in our skills and most importantly ourselves, we'll be fine.
Yes, Larry. So mine is a quick 2 questions. First of all, Richard Garawa gets into 100 wickets, your reaction to that. And then secondly, there's a point that you went to almost ask the band to get quiet for a bit and ask the fans to sing what was going on there.
So first of all, Richard Garawa becomes the first Zimbabwean to get to 100 wickets. As much as I jumped on him and gave him a hug, I gave him a big hug as well because he's my younger brother and I love him to bits. So I was extremely proud of him. But then I had to rein myself in because the job's not done, the game was still going on and we still had, so I didn't want to get too emotional. So, I just had to bring myself back and say, okay, we've got a wicket, well done on your 100, but we have a job to do. We still have 8 more wickets to take. It wasn't 7 more wickets or 6 more wickets to take. So I just quickly reminded myself that and got myself back into the present. So I'm really happy. No, it was because Kasakota wanted to sing. So they requested me if I could request the band to just give them a break, give them a chance as well. So I just went to the band and said, for the next 10 minutes, let the Kasakota make noise. And they appreciated it. And unfortunately, they start singing vulgar songs, but I loved it. So it was good. I enjoyed it. So.
Is Tinashe then a blessing?
Okay. My question, I think I don't like to be going back to the Namibia tournament.
So don't go back.
But where does this rank the film after the last 2-3 years with the development of Namibia? Where in your personal career, where does this film rank amongst your top highlights?
Emotionally, I think it ranks pretty high. Because I know how I have felt in the last 10 days where I haven't slept, where I have just made notes, watched footage and try and exploit every single weakness of every single bowler or batter that we're going to come across, and I have stayed awake to watch the footage myself. Spoke to the countries that play against these countries because we were going in pretty much blind because we haven't watched a lot of footage because there's not much footage available in the majority of these countries. So I've spoken to pretty much everybody I can who has played against them. Any footage I can watch of any YouTube, I've watched it, analyzed it. Been blessed in a way where there's a lot of analysts that I've worked with in the past as well, from PSL, IPL, 100. So there's a lot of footage that I might not have seen, but they have had. So I've asked them to kindly help us out as well, and they were kind enough to help me. And I've merged all the notes to come up with the plans. And if the game's going out of our hands at points, I've remained calm because I know that where we can target and where we can come back. And we've done that against Uganda where they were 71 for 1 after 7 overs. But I was calm and the team was calm as well because we knew we can pull this back. So every game presented some challenge, but I was calm because I had that knowledge and those notes in my head that I have prepared. So emotionally, this ranks pretty high because I knew what was riding on it. to state the obvious, I think our futures were riding on it as well, because I don't know if I could carry on without going to the World Cup. It would have been, I don't know if I could have done that, but so yeah, it's just relieving.
All right, last but not least, Dean.
Yeah, this is a very light-hearted, fun fact question. So, do you and the team prefer listening to the natural, beautiful singing and harmonizing and chanting of the crowd in Castle Corner, or do you prefer the overpowering sound of the band, which has made its presence known?
So I'm a very balanced guy. I want a bit of both. So I think those two, the band and the Castle Corner, must work hand in hand and have their time to sing, and the band to have their time to play the band as well. So hopefully in the next game I'll go to them and tell them, listen, you two have to learn to work together. Go on, Brian.
Okay,
Go on.
Brian, last one. Okay,
At least it's not returned.
All right.
Go on, Brian.
So the final one, we play Namibia. We are both qualified. How important will it be for Zimbabwe to continue on that winning trajectory against Namibia? And I think probably might need a full house because of the cricket that Namibia has played and the cricket that you guys have played. And so how important would that be for Zimbabwe? And more importantly, are we going to see a few changes in the final?
So I cannot answer the changes part. Of course, there's boys who are carrying niggles, so we will assess them on the day of the game. But as a captain, I always speak to the player. If he thinks he can give me 100%, then I will always back him. All of us carry niggles, but once we go out there, we just put our heart on the sleeve and play for Zimbabwe with a lot of pride. And with those emotions, sometimes those niggles, you just completely forget about it. If you're in pain as well, you're going to have to learn to deal with that. So changes, we'll see what we have to make, if we have to make. And as you said, Saturday is a very important game. For us, there's a trophy to win, and we're going to do our best to win the trophy.
All right, thanks.